Hi there, this is kind of a response to a number of videos I've been looking at recently, specifically one by OldHacks, can't remember what it's called, sorry OldHacks, a couple of kind of exchanges with OldHacks that Gratex made, and one I've just been watching by TheBubbaMan, although I think it was on the TheBubbaMan channel. And it's really about YouTube. If I understood OldHacks right, you were saying that, you know, you're expressing a kind of frustration, I think the one that many of us feel, to do with well, just the apparent disparity. You look on the browse page on YouTube, and it's just full of crap, getting thousands and thousands of views, and then there's YouTubers like OldHacks, Gratex, TheBubbaMan, myself, you know, the rest of us here, who are getting, you know, between a couple of hundred and maybe 1,000 views, something like that. And what's that about? And OldHacks, you particularly came at that by saying something like, well, excuse me, expressing a kind of disappointment that that social media platforms and the internet more generally should have leveled the playing field, so that access to music, I think you mentioned in your case, access to music wasn't gatekeepered by the large corporations, and we could all, if we wanted to, make our product, if you like, available to a wider audience and cut out the middleman, and in theory, you know, have that kind of thing. Oh God, I think I've swallowed a fly or something. Anyway. Oh God, sorry. Anyhow, yeah, okay, so that, yeah, right, back to the plot. But several things on that, really. And what, just to put the other end of that, what the TheBubbaMan was saying, TheBubbaMan was saying, was that he's just noticed in his, he's saying he had this video called The Gay Thing, which was a good video I looked at earlier on, talking about homophobia. And he was just observing and got very few views, and as he said, many of the videos that he makes in which he features his face, like this, his face, they seem to be the one that gets less views, whether as the ones, the Welcome to Jesus Land ones in his case, the ones that have got graphics and other things going on tend to get more views. And I think there is a relationship between this thing. I mean, there's several features in there. I mean, firstly, this thing that OldHacks is talking about a more level playing field to gain access, I think that's slightly different to some of the other problems, but it's related to some of the problems. I mean, what you're saying, OldHacks, if I understand you correctly, is you would really like popularity. You would like thousands of views. You know, you'd like your music to appreciate it. You'd like to be featured on the page, all that kind of stuff, so that you know, you could occupy the slot that Shane Dawson occupies, or whoever, because you deserve it more. And I'll probably agree with that, to be honest. But I think the reason why that's not the case is because of the different media forms that we're operating within. I really do believe this. I think, you know, YouTube isn't one media, it's two media. It's a broadcast media and it's a social media. And they've got different kinds of expectations attached to them, and they've got different kinds of modes of operating. You know, I mean, what you seem to be saying, OldHacks, and what Shane Dawson does so well, is basically use YouTube as a broadcast media platform. You put your music out there, and it either survives or fails. And of course, if that was as you would like it, OldHacks, if it was genuinely a level playing field, then it would be purely meritocratic. You know, the best music would rise to the top, the best videos would rise to the top. There wouldn't be any tweaking of those figures by Google and the partnership arrangements or anything like that. But regardless of whether it's meritocratic or whether it's faked, or whether it's completely run by the corporations, it's still about slotting into a broadcast model. It's still about trying to get your product out to as many people as possible. Now that is very different to social media, which is not about that. It's about developing communities and relationships, even loosely held and very mobile and transient communities. And I suspect, and I may be wrong here, but I suspect communities max out at about 200 people. I've got about 7,000 or 8,000 subscribers, but most of those aren't really subscribers. They're just people who accidentally subscribe, because I'm featured on TJ's Amazing Atheist channel. So they kind of came with the package, you know what I mean? They don't look at my videos. Most of my videos get between 200 and 300 views, unless I take my clothes off, and they get a few more. So yeah, and I think that's a kind of natural number, you know, a bit like medieval villages or the traditional English village, or the hunter-gatherer tribe, or the tribe of nomads. You know what I mean? It's about 150, 200 people apparently, those natural groupings, because beyond that you start to get into a position where you don't quite know everybody. So I suspect that that's just a feature of social media, and expecting to do the social media thing and get a broadcast audience is not going to happen really. Personally, I prefer the social media thing. I like it better. And YouTube does not do the social media thing very well, unfortunately. It doesn't provide any tools or very many tools for doing it very well, unfortunately. And all of its advertising, all of its promotion is around trying to turn us into broadcasters. Broadcast yourself. I don't like it really myself, but that's just me. So yeah, but I do think it maxes out around 200. So, and in relation to you, Bubba Man, the Bubba Mike, what's your name? Mick. Let's call you Mick. Yeah, 159. It'll rise, of course, that thing. But I am sure if you had made that video in a different style and presented your channel in a different way, you would have got more views, as you know yourself from the Welcome to Jesus Land series. And the reason why I say that is, I think this thing that we're doing, the talking to camera, is a signifier of a social media usage. Whereas the thing that Shane Dawson does, the things that Ray William Johnson does, the thing that all those other guys do, everything, you look at their channel and it signifies broadcast. They look like television. You know, they look like they're doing really bad, cheap cable television. Introductions, the works, you know what I mean? I know some YouTubers got introductions, but I think that's a mistake, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's just a confusion of media forms. And doing the social media thing, which is what I'm doing now, what you guys both did. In fact, all three of you, Gratex, you do as well, of course. And I know you're aware of it. Doing the YouTuber social media thing and expecting a broadcast audience is not going to happen. And the things you would have to do to get a broadcast audience probably would prevent you being a YouTuber, I suspect, because you have to be a bit of a twat, I think. I do. Anyhow, that's my 4 cents. What do you say? 60 cents? A number of cents. That's my 4 penneth. Thank you very much and good night.